Last time on D&D, featuring Adrian Silverstrength, the human paladin, Morsus Firebeard, the hill dwarf cleric, Ragnarok, the Asmir warlock, Safrenia, the high elf cleric, and Dawn Kanan, the half elf ranger. And in this episode, a special guest, Evelyn Greystone, the human cleric. Adrian, Morsus, Safrenia, Ragnarok, and Kanan examine the dead brigand who took his own life during the battle against the kobolds to search for clues and found nothing. There's no evidence that this human was any form of caster. Safrenia notices that the horses that they had tied to the trees are missing and opts to go find them while the others continue. I had done this because Safrenia was absent for the first half and Morsus was absent the entire session. Shortly after, a young human female bursts through the bushes and explains that she's the daughter of Barris Gravestone, the mayor of Spire's Edge, the very man the party had been attempting to rescue. She introduces herself as Evelyn Gravestone, a follower of Devara, the goddess of weather, thunder, and rain. This is one of my friends who is in my other D&D game. I had asked her to basically step in as a cleric because Safrenia was going to miss the first half and that she could cover the first half and leave during the second half. She explains that they had intended to torture her to force her father to tell the half-ogre Balrog Bloodlust where the magical gauntlet, formerly worn by Balrog's partner, had disappeared to, and how they had tracked whoever took it to Spire's Edge. Dawn Kanan managed to track down several gnolls as well as a blue guard drake. Because the party is still injured, they opt to hide rather than openly attack. The gnolls and drake begin to move north, and the party decides to follow. There is a moment where it seems that the gnolls and the drake catch the scent of the heroes, but Kanan spots a deer and shoots an arrow near it to frighten it so that it appears that the gnolls had actually caught the scent of the deer. The gnolls and drake continue and meet what appears to be a commanding officer. It's another gnoll, mounted on a vile-looking beast called, I believe it's pronounced Lakruda. The party is not able to understand the discussion, but assumes that the mounted gnoll's telling the three gnolls and the guard drake to return to the woods and find Evelyn. The party waits for those gnolls and the guard drake to depart before attacking the captain gnoll mounted on the Lakruda. Dawn Kanan launches an arrow, striking the gnoll captain. The Lakruda then charges the party and focuses its attack on Adrian. It manages to land a bite into Adrian's shoulder, biting down deep enough to cause significant damage. Dawn Kanan launches another shot and critically hits the gnoll captain, nearly dismounting him. The party focuses on the captain, who uses his spear to try to spear the party from his mounted position. He is eventually killed, but they do eventually bring the Lakruda down as well. The party moves both bodies away from where they fell and use bushes to cover up the blood and hide the bodies. Searching the captain, they find a few pieces of gold, and Evelyn finds a parchment with some kind of ancient runes on it. She's able to determine that this is Ancient Elven, a dialect pretty much long forgotten, whose origins remain fairly unknown even to the elves, and only a handful of scholars even continue to try and study this language. As she sits and examines the parchment further, she is able to actually translate it to "the passage is here." During the short rest, Evelyn hears a humming sound and alerts Dawn Kanan. Together they go and see a beast known as a spectator near the same spot that the gnoll captain had been. They also see that the same three gnolls and the drake speaking with the spectator. They seem alarmed that the captain is not present and raise the alarms. Several gnolls howl, and soon the howling carries throughout the woods and drums begin to beat, letting the party know that the entire forest is infected with gnolls. They observe the spectator turning towards the hill and uttering the elven runic language, "The passage is here," and see a shimmering portal open right in front of the mountain. Dawn Kanan and Evelyn return to the party and report what they've seen. The party returns to where the spectator had been seen, muttering the words of magic. Waiting for the coast to be clear, the party quietly moves forward, unravels the scroll, and reads the words, "The passage is here." Morsus explains that he'll wait by the door outside and warn the party if anyone is coming up behind them. He wants to see if Safrenia returns with the horses. Again, since Morsus was actually absent this session, I'm putting him outside of the event to explain why he's not actually partaking. The rest of the party goes inside and sees the hall splits into three ways. To the left they hear a stream, straight ahead they hear a hum, and to the right there is a dark hallway with no torches. The party opts to go down the center path where they enter a room that is a circular marble floor, and in the middle is a pedestal with a shimmering sphere full of water. They notice an inscription at the base. What runs but never walks, often murmurs but never talks, has a bed but never sleeps, has a mouth but never eats. Don Kanan looks at the others and says he's confident he knows the answer. The answer is river. The object in the sphere changes to fire. They notice that the inscription on the base has now changed. Give me food and I will grow. Give me water and I will die. What am I? Don Kanan once again answers, I am fire. The object in the sphere changes to clouds and storms. They notice that the inscription yet again changes. I crowd around you, but you can't see me. I can be still and I can move quietly. I give you life and I leave you when I die. Don Kanan again answers. The answer is air. The object in the sphere changes to a mountain. They notice the inscription at the base. I am the quiet heart of many. I am rough, I am soft. In snow, sun, or water I thrive. I lie down and stand tall. I am 1,000 colors. What am I? This time the party considers the options and decide that stone is the better answer than rock, and a beam strikes the center of the room and a door opens. The party proceeds down the hall and comes into an old bridge spanning over the large chasm. The fall below is roughly 60 feet, and down there the stream can be heard rushing through the darkness below. Adrian decides to cross first and notices that halfway the bridge is falling apart and nearly falls through the rotted wood. However, upon making it to the other side, he's suddenly overcome by a gripping fear of a blue dragon and drops his weapon and cowers behind his shield. Rushing to see what might be happening, Ragnarok fails to notice rotted wood and steps on it and falls, plunging 60 feet to the stream below, reducing him down to only 1 hit point. Don Kanan goes next, leaping over the rotted wood, but he too is overcome with a sense of fear from a blue dragon. Evelyn goes next, stopping at the gap and using her healing spell to reach exactly the distance needed to heal Ragnarok before continuing across the bridge. Unlike the other two, she's not overcome with the fear of a blue dragon. She does, however, spot a creature hiding nearby, a Meanlock. She manages to help Don Kanan, who then fires a shot at the Meanlock and hits it. The creature hisses and Shadow steps away. In the meantime, Ragnarok is climbing up the cliffside using his pack weapon. The others help Ragnarok quickly up the cliffside. The party proceeds further and comes around to another old bridge. This time they notice that the tracks in the dirt disappear in the wall. Muttering the words, the passage is here in ancient Elven, they discover that a portal opens once again, allowing them to pass through. But on the other side, they see a band of bugbears in a small cave acting as guards. The party opts to try to stealth in, however Ragnarok's robes get caught in the jagged stone due to a critical fail on his roll, and makes a ripping sound alerting the bugbears to their presence. As the bugbears begin to rush out, Evelyn is able to call on her goddess, using channel divinity to invoke a thunder wave, doing maximum damage, killing all 5 bugbears. In the process, she is wounded and offers to stay behind. Note at this point, my player who was playing Evelyn had to leave. The party searches and finds several gold pieces, as well as 2 red gems worth 500 gold each. At this point, the player who is controlling Sophrenia has joined, so that my other player who is controlling Evelyn could leave. So at this point, Sophrenia sees Morsus, who explains that the party's gone inside. She makes her way through, hears a thundering sound, and manages to catch up to the party. I just did that to fast forward to make sure that she didn't have to go through the riddles, and just to get her caught up to the party. The party proceeds further and comes to a circular marble room, where there is a large statue holding a basin. The party also notices that more of those Elven runic language, and they're able to translate it, that says, "Bleed me dry, you will die. Fill my eyes, and you will see the sky." The party considers what to do, debating what the riddle could possibly mean. The party decides that perhaps the 2 gems they found are part of this riddle. Ragnarok climbs up and notices the pattern of the floor that looks like a sun. Inserting the 2 gems into the eyes, the sockets illuminate. The eyes send down a beam towards the sun on the floor, opening yet another passage. The party makes their way down a hallway and eventually comes to a room that appears to be a 4x4 chessboard. They notice a breeze blows in the circular marble room, and that the left wall has several holes in it. They assume that stepping on the wrong tiles may trigger a trap. However, the entire party eventually makes it across the chessboard, and they find a small room. This appears to have at one point been a guard post. In here they find several cloaks and tabards of the brigands, which they quickly don and take a short rest before proceeding. They go down a flight of stairs and discover a room full of 10 other brigands of what appears to be a makeshift bar in this cave. Ragnarok, wanting to fit in, quickly buys everyone a round of drinks. Soon an entire bar fight has now broke out, and the brigands are punching one another, and the party begins fighting with one another, as well as the other brigands. This eventually draws the attention of Balrog Bloodlust, who swings open his locked door, providing Don Kanan a chance to see inside the room. He spots an orc with a staff standing next to an eccentric coffin, and Mayor Barris Gravestone, who is in shackles and stuck to the wall, looking severely beaten up. Balrog Bloodlust demands that they stop drinking and stop fighting and go find Evelyn, as the mayor will not tell him where the gauntlets are. Most of the brigands then depart, leaving 3 behind plus the bartender, as Balrog Bloodlust closes the door behind him. At that point, the party decides to attack the brigands in the bar and take them out. But this alerts Balrog Bloodlust yet again, who hears fighting and comes out to attack the party. Sophrenia uses Hold Person to stop Balrog Bloodlust. This allows the party to land some very damaging blows on the half-ogre. The orc then places his hand on the coffin and uses Dimension Door to get out of the room. The party eventually takes down Balrog Bloodlust, and through intimidation is able to convince the other 3 brigands to put their weapons down. The bartender, however, goes down fighting. The party frees Barris Gravestone, and inside that room is a chest that has a rune on it. They're able to get past it, open the chest, and recover 6 red gems worth 500 gold each. They are also able to recover some gold from Balrog and the bartender's body. Assisting the mayor, they meet up with his daughter Evelyn in the hall, where she's standing there, leaning against the wall, holding a bloody mace, with several dead brigands at her feet. These are the brigands who had left the bar. She happily reunites with her father, and the party proceeds to backtrack, successfully making it out of the mysterious cavern and meeting up with Morsus outside. Everyone is, however, forced to walk back, as Sophrenia reveals that she was not able to find the horses. Barris is taken to the temple of his daughter's clerk to be tended to, and offers to meet them at his home after he's recovered. He also assures the party that their rooms at the Stone's Throw Inn and Tavern in Spire's Edge is to be compensated the entire time that they're here. This is where we end this session.